OPP2 have been added, but May 2024 OPP1 papers, which I attempted, they are not there, sir. They have been deleted from the dashboard, sir. Sir, my
Those
request,
are like yeah, yeah. Those are very old questions.
no, no,
So
my
that's why
sir, I had attempted those, no, so I want to revise those problems. So I want them restored. The three papers, three, four papers which have been deleted, because I had solved them. Now I will how I would revise and check my solutions again.
that's what I'm saying. You have the newer questions in the portal. So those were the older questions, right? May 24 is like
But
some
sir,
4 5 months.
I had solved them. I had devoted many hours to them actually. So I would like to revise them and see my solutions
Excuse,
also. Pardon,
sorry,
sir?
sir. OPP2 set is not released yet.
There was a set that was
No,
released.
three papers have been released, sir, for OPP2.
Yes, yes, the 3 papers were released.
So, sir, I request like that those May 2004 24 four papers be restored, because I had solved them and now I want to revise them actually again. And
Excuse me,
so,
sir. Sorry, sir. OPP2 content is not seen in my portal.
It is there. It is between the after September 24 OPP, you have the September 24 OPP two sets. Check this at 24 September OPP. There you have this thing. So we removed May 24 because May 24 had a different pattern. So after
but
September
sir,
24, the pattern of
concepts are the same, no, sir. So I solved them. So I want to revise my
oh,
solutions. And,
the current sets also have the same concepts, right? So you can
but sir,
practice with the existing questions, right?
no,
Excuse me,
no,
sir.
but sir, you are not understanding, sir. I have solved them actually, no. So I want to now.
Okay.
I will again solve them and compare my solutions, which I had
Why not
solved.
solve new questions?
New questions also I will solve, but sir, again solving those old questions will reinforce the concept very in a very impactful way actually. So I request that those four papers of mine be restored, sir, so that I can revise them, sir.
Okay, I'll check if that can be done.
Yes, sir,
Sir,
please, sir.
Uh,
It is my request, sir.
excuse
okay.
me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
In a OPE2, the big 8 portion, how many marks contain big 8 portion, sir?
The last question will be file handling, which is of 15 marks out of 100. The
So
weightage
15
will be
marks
15 marks.
contain for week 8,
Yeah, yeah. Only one question will be from file handling.
and section 1 and section 2 will be same in a OPE2.
Yes.
And section 3, the first question will be coming
Same.
on week 1 to 5, like pre-
This,
uh,
yeah, the OPP
pattern
one
type,
only.
printing pattern type.
No, 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 no. The first question in the section 3 will be similar to the OPP one, which is like problem solving or data analysis type questions, where you will have multiple sub problems. That will be there. Instead of the IO type question, there will be file handling question in section 3.
IO type.
So what is the
Instead
tentative
of
date
the
of the
IO
exam?
type, you will have file handling in section 3. Okay.
So what is the tentative date of the exam?
I think
So
the
what is
dates are there in the grading document, right? You can check the grading document for the dates. I think there will be some 2 or 3 dates will be given, out of
Okay,
which
okay.
one particular date will be allotted for you.
sir?
Yes.
So can you take the session for OPE2 revision, like two or three session for OPE2 revision session, sir?
Yeah, yeah. So before that OPP for 2 week, all the sessions will be that only. Today also I am going to discuss OPP two related concepts only. So I'll just give a full overview of the different concepts that you want,
In a
different data.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
In a interim exam for function, the what is the syllabus like? I am a C. And the
In terms till week 10, week 11 is not there. Week 12 you don't have any new content. Week 11 content is not there for in term, so it is still week 10.
okay, sir.
Okay, for in term.
Like in a one question will be different from the OPE2. In a like OPE2, one question will be different, and otherwise the same portion for like OPE1 type.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
So can you discuss this type of question who came in exam, how the level of the question, uh, a different type of question will be came like concepts.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. So I'll discuss them. If you want, if you want me to solve any particular question from the previous sets, you can ask. I will do that. I will start with explaining some concepts that you need to know.
Can
Some
you discuss the
conditionals.
big
If
eight concept? Can you discuss the big eight full concept, sir? So
week
due to,
8 file handling.
yeah, yeah, sir. Due
Yeah,
to
yeah.
COVID,
I'll discuss.
I am not joined the session for big eight.
I'll give a brief introduction on that. Okay. I think let me start with the session. I'm sharing my screen. We'll go
Yeah.
there and then we'll discuss it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So, let me tell you how you can first practice this week 8 concepts or the file handling type questions in the Python tutor, right? So by usually, if you see, let me take one of the questions in this OPP2 questions. Here, let me take this final problem. We see this will be the usual format in which we have the file handling problem. There will be some prefix code, and you will see the test cases here. Okay. So usually these test cases are input and output, right? But since this is file handling question, what we are doing is this code, what it does is it takes the input. This line means it reads all the input and writes it to a file. Okay. The file name is some random generated file which is stored in the variable file name. This will be how your file handling questions will be. Okay. And you have to open this file with the name called file name, and then you have to process the input. So basically, this is standard input. What the standard input will be written to a file by this prefix code, and then you have to read the file to get the content and print the output. Okay. So in that case, so this is the code that is writing it to the file. So this is for random generating the file name and then putting it to the file. So this is basically writing it with open and writing the content to the file. Let me show how this works. Okay.
So this is a
So
syntax.
yes, this is very simple code that writes the standard input to a file. Okay. Standard input is the input that you give. Okay. Here also you can give the inputs. So this input will be written to a file by this code. So that's what I'm showing how this will work. Okay. So this sys.std in is the standard input. This represents the standard input. You can use read function to get all the content in the standard input. So now there is no standard input. Whatever I give as input can be read as a string using this. Okay. See that all the content is here. So whatever is here in the input is here using this one. So what that prefix code will do is it will open a file in write mode and write this content standard input to that file. So now there exists after this line runs, there exists a file called file.txt which has this content. So now how do we read the file? So this is basically what this prefix code will do. So you will have this prefix code in all the file handling problems here. You see this one? Basically, I wrote this two lines. This is just for generating the random file name. Okay. And now, since we have written to the file, our problem, what we have to do is read the file and solve the problem. So how do we read the file? There are different ways in which we can read the file. Simplest way is you open the file. Before reading, we have to open the file anyway with read mode. Simplest way is f dot read. This will read all the content in the file and that I am printing. Right. So this is the simplest way to read all the content in a file as a single string. You can also have it stored in some variable. And you can use it later. So once you read the whole content, you can come out of the with block. So that means we are closing the file. Since we have read the every content of the file, we can close it. If you are not doing any more read calls, you can process the whole string later in this manner. Right? So this is one way. You can take everything and then process it like you are processing a string. Okay. The other way, if you want to read line by lines, if you want to get each line, you can do read lines. So now this will create a list. This will return a list with each line, including the next line character as a list. So if there are 3 lines, there will be okay, there will be that many inputs here. If you don't want to add that new line, you can always strip. You can do a strip with map, or you can do something like this. So you can remove the next line character like this. Okay. So this is read lines. Will give you as a list. Read
Sorry,
line.
sir, to interfere, but can you please
eh,
explain from line number second as internet problem happens?
These two lines, these lines are basically the prefix code that will write the standard input, whatever content is here, to a file called this file,
So
whatever
your screen
file
is
that
not
we are giving.
so I can't see your screen.
So is it not shared?
No, sir.
It is visible, sir. Your voice is echoing, but
I think if someone turn on their mic, it might echo. Screen is visible, right?
No, sir.
Can you see me typing?
No,
No,
sir,
sir. I can
currently
see it.
stuck. It
Okay,
is
it
showing
seems to be
Python tutor.
yeah, it seems to be stuck. Wait a minute. What do you see now? I think it is still stuck. Sometimes this
It is you
problems
are
happen.
presenting.
Yes, yes. Things there is a little issue over here. Okay. I I might need to join in another. Yeah, I hope I'm audible now. Hope I can audible now, right? Successful, right? Okay. So now these two lines are basically writing the standard input to a file. We can name the file. So this is all the inputs as a single string.
So what is that import SYS?
This is a module, sys module, which is available in Python, which has some many things. But what we are using it for is to read the whole standard input. Standard input is the input that you give. All the inputs will be read as a single string. Okay,
Sir, I
and
don't
that
get F dot right inside that. What is that? I don't able to understand.
what what this is doing is taking all these things. Whatever you give as input, it is taking all these things. So that's what I said. If you just print this, all the input, that's what this means. Okay,
Why you use dot read?
that's what reads the input. So this std, this thing is like a file handler. So we use file dot read, right? F dot read we use. So this is dot std in is kind of a file like handler to file handle to this standard input. So this std in treats the input as a file, which we can read with the f dot read like syntax. So it's basically reading all the inputs that we give
Sorry, sir,
as a
but
string.
input is not a file right now. Why we don't use dot write to make a file by it?
Wait. Input is not a file, but it can be treated similar to a file. And that's what this is.stdin does. Is.stdin treats the input like a file handle. And now we can read that using the file.read method. So this is similar to the file.read. So it takes all this input as a file. Okay. And now we have a string. So that string is all the input. You see this? All this input. What we are doing is writing it to a file. This all the input we are taking and writing it to a file. And now the file will contain whatever I give here. So that's what this prefix also doing. Whatever is there in the input, after this prefix, it will be there in the file name, this file. Our
Sir, can
job
we
is
say
to
that sys SDN is a multi-line string which we write inside a file?
sys.std in is this whole
Multi-line
thing is
string.
this multi-line string of all the inputs. Okay,
Yes.
so all the inputs is this one. This prefix code takes all the input and write it to a file. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now we have to read the file. So after these two lines, we will have our file ready. Then we can read the file in different ways. So there are different ways in which you can read. So the common ways are using dot read lines, then dot read line also there. So this dot read line acts something similar to the input method. If you want to read line one by one, you can use this. If you want to read all the content, this is for all the content as a single string. Okay, this is for all the lines content as a list of strings. List of strings as a list of strings. This is this is for one line at a time. Okay. That's the
Sir,
difference.
line number 9. Read
Ah,
line is a single string or a list containing a string.
this one is a single string.
Not
Read
a
line
list.
will read only one line. It is used to read the lines one by one. So for example, if I use read line, you will see the first line coming. If I call this one more time, that will be the second line. So why is this extra new line is coming? Because the read line also include the next line character. The print function adds another next line character by default. We can ignore that like this if you don't want the new line to be coming. So we need to add while printing this thing. So the read line will read one by one. As many times we call, it will read that. So this is like just like the input function for the standard input. We use input function to read the line. Here we can use f dot read line. But the thing is, this will also include the next line character, while the input function does not have the next line character. That is the difference here.
Sir, new line character is present in read line, one new line character, and one next line
No,
character
no,
is
if
present in print also. So there are two next line characters. Na?
yeah, that's why I am removing that next line character for the print using this.
But sir, they should. It will come in this horizontal. All will come in horizontal line or in different lines, sir. After
Uh,
we use and is equal to
so
this.
yeah, yeah, if there is no new line character here, everything will come in the same line. But here there is already one next line character is there. So that next
Yes.
line character will be printed, right? That's
Okay.
why you see a next line here.
So, sir, if we want to print in horizontal line, then what will we do?
You have to remove that next line character here. You have to use strip.
Okay.
If you use that, you see it will be combined. You want to remove the next line character. Either you have to use strip, or if you assume there is only one next line character, you can also do that.
So this is how this works. List you have.
This is a string. This what is this? This is a string, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a string. So the last character is the next line. So here I am just removing the last character.
So how it is removing the last character?
Sir, the confusion happens when you say we remove the last line, new line character. We have to use a dot strip backslash n. You using only simple for space. Why that is happening? Don't able to understand.
Dot strip will remove all the white space character. Dot strip, if you don't pass any argument to dot strip, it will remove all the white space, which means the new line, tab, space, everything. It will remove all the white space strip.
If
If
we
you add slash n,
specify backslash n, then what will happen, sir? It will
it
only
will
remove.
remove only the backslash. So for example, assume
कितने बजे
I am,
चाहिए कितने बजे जाएंगे मंदिर
so let me,
6 बजे खत्म हो जाएगा फिर ले आऊंगा
can turn off the mic, Rama.
ओके
Yeah, yes. So let me give you an example of strip, how strip works. Let's have a string. Okay, I'm adding a space, two spaces, and an next line character. I'm using a dot strip. Uh, let's say b a dot strip. So now there is no spaces and the next line. But if I use slash n, there is spaces but no next line. So that's the difference. If you don't use any argument to strip or split, split also works in a similar way. It will split at by default, it will split at every white space, not only spaces. All white spaces means slash n, slash p, the tab characters, everything includes. So if you
Can you
don't
please
pass, it
show
will
dot split also, sir?
so split also in a similar way. If I do this one, if I use space slash n slash n, so now this are very complicated, right? So now when I use split, it splits here. Spaces also it splits. This all this white space also it splits. This also it removes. So that's why you would get everything without white space. If I just use space here, then you see it splits at every space. The space, this space, this space, this space, this space, all the spaces is split. So that's why uh, if you don't use anything, it will remove all the white space. You will get only the non-white space splits. Strip also works in a similar way. If you don't use, it will remove all the white space character, including the next line, the spaces, everything. If there are multiple next line also, it will remove
Strip will not remove
all.
that middle spaces. Now it will only remove at the beginning
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the end.
It will only remove the last one. It won't remove the middles. Strip only removes the left end and the right end.
Yes, sir. So can you
Here
please
also
show?
it will remove.
Can you please show using you were using that square brackets and colon and minus one you were using now to delete the next line.
So in that method, I was using to only remove the last next line. So since I was sure that there will be only one next line character here, then I just need to release the last line, right? So for example, if 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 I have something like this, next line character, now I want to remove the last character, so I just can slice it, right? This is slicing. This removes the first. This is from the starting till the last character, not including it. So this is till the second last character, not including it. This is till the third last character, not including it. Okay, slicing.
Sir, backslash n are two characters or one character?
One character. This is one character. Considered as to be one character. So this basically removes any character, but strip will remove only one character. Strip will remove only the slash n or the white spaces, but this will remove anything that is at the end. Okay. Okay.
Can you please explain line number 12, how it is returning line number 11? I don't get that. Line
Uh,
number 11 example and line number 12, how it is working now, sir?
so it removes these things and these things. If you remove that, only the middle things will be there. That is the output.
Sir, these two backslash n's make two line difference. There is only one
Yes,
y.
strip will remove all the characters, all the white space characters in the end.
Sir, I am
Right.
talking about in between
In
KD.
between, it won't remove. In between, nothing will change. So the two line next line characters will be there. One next line, next line. So there are two next line characters are there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's see one more way in which you can read the file. So this one is kind of an interesting way. So some people use for loops with read lines to uh, get the line one by one and process it one by one. So for example, like this, read lines, you can print uh, this. I want to add line numbers. Okay. So this is one way of reading the lines one by one. I'm using enumerate to give some index to it. I'm starting the index from 1. So I will be starting from 1. And I'm putting that as the line numbers. Right. And now with this, there is a even simpler way to do similar thing. You can just use this. Even without read lines, this code will work. Same
So
as that.
can you please explain this 18, 19, 20 lines? I didn't get it actually.
I am reading the file, opening it, right, in read mode. So let's go with this one. So what does this give? Read lines is a list of lines, right? Did you get this till this one? How this works?
Yes, sir. F dot read line. Read lines is a list of lines.
Yes. What enumerate does?
The
Any idea?
indexing. Indexing.
It also returns an index. Usually the index will start from 0, but you can also specify a start value. Now the index will start from 1. So now I will be starting from 1.
So
Right?
why
Sir, could
you
you please
use 1? We
explain?
generally use 0.
I just want to print the line numbers from 1. I don't want a
Can you
line
please
number 0. That's
explain
it.
the line 19?
Yeah, what enumerate does. So by default, what enumerate does, let's say what enumerate does. I'm having a list or some collection of iterable values. You can have string everything, anything. Okay. Let me have this ABCD itself. Let's have this one. And now if I put A, what I'll have something like this. Each of the value plus an index, right? This is what enumerate does. It adds and also gives some index to it. It's like a tuples, a list of tuples with this index and the value will come. You can specify a starting value for the index. So if you start from 1, the index will start from 1 and so on. So you
Don't
can have an iterable and you can enumerate the iterable and it will add a number to each of the item also. This is a useful thing when you want to have index along with the values. Uh, Here I don't want the index since I want to print the line numbers from 1 to n. I'm just starting it from 1. If you are accessing an index, you can, I'm not accessing it as like index, right? So that's why I am not using it. I want to start it from 1. Just simple as that. And now you can also use this in for loop with I comma value in something like this. Uh, huh. So now you see the number. I'm just printing the number and the value. So that's what I am doing here also. I'm reading the file. This is a list. So each line will be a item. And I'm printing I. I can also print I in this string. That's it. Right?
sir, is there any default value for enumerate?
0. It will be starting from 0. If you don't give, it will be starting from 0. Okay. If you specify, it will start from that. Okay.
Sir, it is similar to the item in dictionary. Enumerate.
Items in dictionary will give the key and value as tuples. Here you will get a number and the value as a tuple. The number you can
Okay.
specify which number to start from.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So now, as I said, removing the read lines will also work same. Why? Because if you want to print the lines, you can print line in f dot read lines of. So this will print the line. with, I said that next line character also will be there. You can remove that. So next line character. So now, basically, if you just do for line in F, it actually works like read line. It reads line by line. So the file handle can be used as a iterator, which will iterate over each of the lines. So if you are iterating over the lines, if you don't want a list, if you want to iterate over the lines, you can just use it like this. But if you want a list, if you want to store it in a list and then process later, then use read lines. But if you are iterating over f dot read lines, it's better just to iterate over the file handle itself. Okay.
Sir, not able to understand last lines. What you say?
What I was saying is, so if you want to store the value in a list and then process like this, then you use f dot read lines. Okay, if you want a list, then use read lines. So if you just want to iterate over and not store it in a list, then you can use just this. Here you don't need to put read lines. When you are iterating or using it in a for loop, when you are using that in a for loop, you need not use read lines. You can just use f line in f. But if you are using, if you want that in a list, then use read lines. Okay.
Yeah, sir. Can you please explain what is the true meaning of line number 20? I remember it, but not able to understand what is the meaning of that.
This one.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So this one is a common line when you do file handling. There are different ways in which you can open the file, right? So the simpler way will be you just you need the file handle. You use open the file name. This open part is same. File name, file text, read mode. But for read mode, you can skip it by default. By default, it will be read mode only. And then you can read the contents and then close the file. These are the things that you need to do when you want to read the files. So this with open is a alternate syntax for opening the file, which automatically closes the file when you remove the indentation. So it's like uh, the same thing, but the file automatically closes when you print here, file is still open. You can read, write, do multiple steps here. But after this, when you come here the file is closed. You cannot read here anymore. So after closing the file, assume I am reading one line, right? After closing the file, I cannot read another line. It will create a error. Same thing happens when I do this like this with open as file. I can read it inside. Automatically it will close, but I cannot read it outside. I can read it inside, but not outside, which means outside this with block, the file is closed. We cannot read it anymore. We have to reopen it again and read the contents. So this is just like a alternate syntax for opening, which takes care of the automatic closing part. And it's also more readable, and we kind of can easily see where the file closes. Whenever the indentation comes back, the file is closed. Okay, so that's why people prefer this syntax for opening files.
So
Okay.
what is with and edge? It is similar to in list and something or other.
No, this particular syntax is called context manager in Python. So just like I write open equal to f, f is equal to open. That's what I write in default mode, right? So this is like with this with specifies this block is a context manager block, and this file will be opened only within this context, which means it's in the indented block. Okay. So this is a syntax in Python. This is called context manager. Here this F refers the file, whatever is here. This value is what F refers. So we are just renaming this thing. Just like we assign it to a variable, I can do it with us syntax. This is a context manager. Okay, whatever is within this, the file is open and we can process the file within that context. Out of that, you cannot do that. You cannot read the file.
So
Okay.
can we say f as variable also, or it is a
Yeah,
file
F is
only?
a variable. F is a file variable that is denoting a file. See here, F is a variable that is denoting some file. It's kind of a IO wrapper. You don't want to go into technical things, but this is something called as file handle or something that is pointing the file, and we can do operations on the file just like the variable. You can also have different names. You can have Q and you can write Q dot readline. That's just a variable name. Okay, this is just a variable name that you give.
Means it also follow variable rules, variable naming rules.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank you.
with and as are the keywords. Okay. This usually people will refer to F. If you want to read multiple files in parallel, you can also open another file as F1 or something like that. Maybe there is a different file, two files are there, you want to read it in parallelly, one by one. Then also you can do something like this. So assume um, I'll create two files. Okay. File one.txt, and I'll also write the content to the file two.txt also. Then I can read the file one and file two. So here you can see this is the first line from file one, and this is the first line from file two. So you can do something like this. Okay.
Sorry, sir. A silly question arises. Can we use
Yes.
to and inside print statement to remove these two new line characters?
You can use strip.
Yes, I understand we can use strip, but I want to we can use two ends or not.
To
Uh,
what? You want to
comma
use?
and comma and sir. F dot read line comma and.
You want to print this in the same line?
Yes, sir. High and high in same line using
Yeah,
ends.
you can do that like this. Is this what you want?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can do that. So you can read files parallelly also. So within this context, you can read file 2. Within this context, you can read file 1. So if I come outside, right here, I can read file this one, but I cannot read this one because that is closed. When I come out of that indentation, I can still read file 1, but I cannot read file 2. When I come out of this indentation, I cannot read that also because that is closed. That's what the syntax means. Okay.
Sir, in line number 11, if we remove dot strip for F file, what will happen then?
The next
Yeah.
line character will be there.
Why that
So
gap in second line?
this gap,
Yes, sir.
because print will separate multiple values using space by default, right? Sep, the sep keyword. If you dare to empty, there won't be space.
Thank you, sir.
Since this is in the same line, it will separate each things by space, right? That's why that gap is there. Okay. So now this file reading part is clear, right? So from the OPP point of view, there will be only one file. We don't ask two file questions. Though it's a good idea to try that, but we won't ask that one. Okay, you just need to read one file, which usually comes something like this. This will be the usual thing that you do. Then how you read depends upon the problem statement. What you want to do, how your problem statement requests, right? So if you see these three things, let's go through these three problems and see what kind of reading method that you can use and solve this problem. So here the idea is you have to replace vowels with some another sequence. This ub and dub prefixes you have to add. So the idea is character level processing is happening. So we want to process each character. So you can read the whole content as a string and then process each character. That is a very easy method for this, right? So that is, so for this method, you can use, since line by line processing is not required because the operation is character wise. So when you have character wise operation, you can read the whole file using f.read and then process the string character by character. Okay?
Sir, F dot
Yeah.
read the whole line, but it will print in
No,
same line.
read will read whole content, all the lines as a single string. Read. F.read will read all the contents of the file.
Sir,
Okay.
Okay,
it will
sir.
still maintain multi-line.
Yes, it will maintain the multi-line. It will have all the next line characters.
Means, sir, where slash n is there, it will print that particular line in next line, or it will print uh, whole content in one line.
Okay. So if a string has lines, right, the multi-line string, when you print it, that lines will be also printed, right? You have a multi-line string. When you print it, those lines will be also printed, right? Or if you say A, B, C, did you get that?
Yes, sir.
So if we have two
So
backslash n, if we have two between A and B, what will happen, sir?
another line.
Sir,
Acha,
one backslash and jump from A to next line and then next line to next line, second backslash n.
Yes, here is one backslash n which skips to this line. Here is another backslash n which skips to this line. Okay.
That means read will maintain the escape character which are used in the context.
Yes, yes. All the content, all the text, all the slash ins, everything will be there. Even
Okay,
if you
sir.
have
And sir,
this uh,
and sir, the read lines, the escape characters are written like slash and slash t, and the
y-
whole content are in lists, right? Read
yes. The
lines.
only difference is each line will be a separate string, which is a list. That is the difference in read lines. This is a
And
list
sir,
of lines.
escape characters
This is
are written there in words, no?
yeah. All this function will retain the all the characters.
Okay, sir.
If there are multiple lines, that will be also there. Every spaces, every tab, everything will be there. This won't remove those content. All the content you can read.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So now let's see this different next one, this problem, and see how we can process this input. So based upon this question, so this is like rearranging the lines. Okay, it's like we have to first have all the lines and then rearrange it. And since we are not processing line by line, so this you cannot process, take one line and process it and print the output for the first line. You cannot do that here. So for this case, using read lines to get the whole content as a list and then rearranging the list and printing it should be the proper method. So here we cannot process line by line. So we cannot use the for method like that. So let's see this problem. So here, this is like character by character processing only, but there the first line contains some value also. So we have to uh, deal with it in a different manner. So all the remaining content or some whole string, we can process it character by character, but the first line also has some value. So in this case, we combine read line to read the first line and then read to get the remaining lines. So let me show you how that works. So when I open this file, uh, yeah, when I open this file, I can use first line, right? So now the first line will have the first line. Okay, let me change this file. Yes. So the first line will have this hi plus the next line character. Okay. So I can read the first line. So when now I use f dot read, so this read line will read the first line and bring the cursor to the next line. So when I use read again, it will read from the next line, not the first line. It will continue reading it. So if I use read line again, it will read the second line. And the final read will read the remaining part only. So sometimes you might have to combine this things for the depending upon the input format. Here we want to process the first line in a different manner. We have to convert it into an integer and then process the remaining string as some manner, right? So we use the combination of read line and read. Okay. Is that clear? Any doubts in that? Okay. Right. So now let me give a simple problem. So in using this one, so there will be the first line will contain the number of lines in the input. And now we have to process the remaining lines. We just have to add one to the number, whatever number is there. So the output should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 based upon this inputs. How do we solve this? First, we have to read the number of lines n, which we can using f dot read read line. It will read the first line. So this is a string, right? The first line, the number of lines is that. You can convert that into integer. Don't worry about the space because the int function will automatically ignore any space if it is there. It will automatically strip it. So we don't have to worry about it. We have the this one. But there is another way in which you can also read this. We actually don't need the number of lines here. Maybe I'll change my problem statement like this. I have to add this one to all the numbers here. So this is my new problem statement. I want to add the first line number to the all the remaining lines and print the output. So I want to add 5 to everything. So my expected output is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How do I do that? I can read the each line and so now this is line by line processing. I don't want to read all the lines and add it. I just read one line and print that add 5 and print it. So it's a line by line processing. So I can use this method. The for method I can use. I can use this. So the line will have the content, right? This content will be there. I want them as integer because I have to add 5 to it. So I can convert them as integers and I can add n to it. So depending upon the value in the first line, it will add
Sorry, sir.
n to.
What will happen when you use int in line number 25? Their space simultaneously decrease. Why?
No, it is because the line is string, right? Each line is a string here. it also contains the next line character. So that's why you have the spaces. But when I convert it into integer, that next line character won't be there, right?
Backslash and remove using
Yes, yes. Int it will automatically remove the white spaces around the. Okay, because now it is a number, we can use mathematical operations on it. So we can add numbers to it like this. Okay, this is reading the first line and the remaining lines. So this also works like so the cursor will move when you use the read line. So if you do F, it won't start from the first line. It will continue from the second line. Okay, when you use read line, the cursor will move one line before. If you want to skip one line, you can also add another dummy read line here, which will skip the first line after this. So the first line will be read and it will skip this line. The second read line that I put will skip this line. And now this loop will only include line 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the output will be 12. So you
sir,
have to
sorry,
understand.
I don't get the last part. Why 12, 13, 14, 15 come?
Because I am skipping, I am reading the first line, I am not doing anything. So this will remove that line. Read line will read the line, right? And cursor will move down. So after this read line, the cursor will move here, right? If I call read line once again, the cursor will move here. And now when I do this one, I will get from here.
Why we don't
Read
use
line,
next here, sir?
next. What next?
Sometimes we use next in file, just like in week 5 we use.
So that next is can be used in iterator. It will also, you can use that also. But read line also behave in the same manner. So for example, if I use next of f, what you will get? You will get the value. It is also, if you consider this like an iterator or a iterator, next will give you the next line, right? That's what read line also does. F dot read line also does the same thing. So just like read lines is similar to if you put red dot read lines, it is similar, right? You can just put F. Similarly, instead of F dot read line, you can also put this if you want.
Why this is showing 1, sir?
Because after this read line, the cursor will be in this one, and that line has 1. If
Yeah,
this
sir.
line has 10, that will be 10, including the next line character. Right. So in this one, you can also use next. So some people might not be aware of what next does. It is basically taking the next item out of an iterator. Since F also behaves like an iterator, we can use next to get a similar functionality of F dot read line. Okay.
Can you please explain what is happening in content in global frame? 10
Content.
and then 10.
I just read everything. Whatever content is here, it will be there.
Why they don't come below each other? There is a one gap. Yes,
That
sir.
is because of this quotes string representation. There, that's it.
Is there any way to format them one space in everyone so
So,
that they
so
align?
uh, if you add next one more line here, something like that, you see this? This is
Yes, sir.
basically representation of the string, that string. Since we don't have the empty first line, the string should be represented like this. You can print it in any way. If you print it, you will see there won't be that gap or something like that. It's just the internal representation, right? You can print it, then you won't see anything. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So any doubts so far? Okay. So now let me give you another problem. Right.
Sir, can you please again
Yes.
explain the set to file ending problem?
This one.
Set to, yes, sir.
Set
How
2.
to approach them?
This one.
Yes, sir. In that we have to rearrange according to number of line.
Yes, yes. So here, if you see this, these are the lines. So first we have to get all the lines. So as I said, we have to rearrange. We need to store the each line. So we need a list of strings. So we use read lines here. So let me do that. So first we have to open the file. Open file name. So we have to use this variable name, file name. Save f dot read lines.
Why you use file name, sir, not file here?
Here, this is the name of the file. So this is some random file name that is being generated. So our file is the name of the file is stored in this variable, right? That's why I'm
Can we
using that.
also use temp file dot mk as temp prefix is equal to case?
No, 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 no. Because the content is written to whatever value is there in this file name. In this variable, there is a value. So the content is present only in that file. So you have to use this variable only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we have read the contents. So from the format, these lines will be there for us. So maybe I'll explain it here. I do these things. Okay. Now let me clean this up. So now I'll read the lines. Here it is file.text. Okay. So now I have every line as a list. This also is there. Order is in the last line. So then now we can get the last line. How do we get our last line?
Can you please explain the last line? 31524. What is that?
Well, this represents the new order. So which means the third line, the new order, third line should be the first one. First line should be the second one. Fifth line should be the third one. Second line should be the fourth one. And fourth line should be the last one. Like that. So you can see this example.
Sir, why it is
Here,
not printing in, sir, why it is not printing in order? Why it is printing in a jumbled way?
this is the input. Our objective is to arrange it in this order. So the
So
third
what?
one, which is this one, should be in the first position in the output.
Okay,
The
sir.
first one should be in the second position,
Position.
and the fifth one should be in the third position, which is this.
Yes, sir. So, sir, so
Like that.
how we make third one as first, sir?
Yeah, I'm solving it, right? Let's go one by one.
Okay, sir.
So now we have this list, and the last line has the order in which we want to rearrange. First, I have to take the order, which is lines of -1. So now order is this one. And I also don't want that to be in this one, lines. I just want to remove that from there. So I can either use there are two ways to do this. If you do this, lines will come in order, but this last line will be also present there. What I can do is I can use pop. So
Sir,
for
I don't
what does
understand line number 10. What is the use of order here?
this is the order in which we want to reorder, right?
Yeah, that is clear. But in
Huh.
code, what are you doing, sir? I don't understand.
So now all the lines are within this variable name, right? I
Yes,
want to
sir.
get the last line. I'm just storing it in some variable. So when you use indexing, you will also have that value here in this lines also. But I don't want it from here. I want to remove it from here, and I just want to call it in some other variable. So I am removing that last line from the lines. That is what this does. And I am putting it to order. So now my order has the order in which I want to reorder. And now also I want to convert this into list. So I'll use split with the comma. So now I have my order. And also I want this order to be integers. So I can use list of map int to get integers. My orders in integers, right? Or else you can also use list comprehensions to do that. If you are using list comprehension, this would become int of n for n in this one. Mm, you can also do this. Can do it in this way, or using functional programming, you can get the order like this. So this is like parsing the last line. I am getting the individual values. So this is the new order that I want. And also notice that this order is one indexed, starting from one, but our list is zero indexed, right? So I want to adjust this order to match the zero indexing. So I also do a minus one. So now I convert the one based index to zero based indices so that I can easily get the values from the lines list.
Sorry, I don't understand why you use -1.
These indices are this order indices, these are the indexes, right? 3 means third line, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. But I want to
Ah,
ask what is the relation with the f dot read line of that index?
what does this lines have? All these lines in an list, right? This list we have, right? Right? So, for example, I want to get the third line. So, what is the index of third line? 2.
That is 2 in list.
Ah, yes. So, I want it to be that. I want to
Yeah,
get the
yes, sir.
second item, right? So, that's why. So, I can. So, now if you see the third line, which is index 2, the first line, which is of index 0, the fifth line, which is of index 4, right? I can get it with the index now. So now with this order, I can do for index in order print lines of index. The slash n is also there in each of this. So I can either use an end equal to this, or you can use strip, which will give you the reordered output.
Sir, I am confused in this. Sir, actually, I'm not able to understand in a coherent way.
Okay, so did you understand the part till we get the orders? What does this do?
Sir, I understood till f dot read lines pro like it contains a
Okay,
list of, yeah.
okay. Let me go through this again.
Sorry to
Okay, so
disturb you,
now
sir. Is there any
uh,
way we can use first character of a line as this is 1, 2, 3, and we want to
no,
arrange them
these
according?
these are these are just the content of the line. This don't have anything to do with the reordering. So for example, Take this test case. So here, these lines don't have any numbers. So that these numbers are just given so that you can kind of correlate these things for better understanding. The idea is the last lines contain the new order. So here the second line should come first, which means the second line should come first. Third line should come second, which is this third line should come second, and the first line should come third. That's what this, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
this
in
is
end,
last.
can you please explain how to take a character and according to character we can order the file?
How to take that?
Case one, sir. How to
Uh-huh.
use first character that is first two in first line, four in second line,
You
and
you don't you
arrange
don't
them.
you shouldn't use this. This
Sir,
is
is
just
if
for.
there a question present? I understand this question.
Okay. So you are asking about a different question where you have to process it like that.
According to first characters.
Okay. That will go to after do this after I explain this once again. We'll
Okay,
go
sir.
into that problem. Okay. Yeah. So first now understand that we want to get each lines. So I am just reading every line into a list so that I can reorder. Okay. So now this list also contains the ordering in the last line. So I need this ordering to reorder the contents. So how I can get the last? What does list.pop do? List.pop or that lines.pop will remove the last element and give it to me. This will give the last element and also remove it from the this lines. So now this lines will only have the lines and the ordering we can separate it out. So now I can get the ordering separately and then process the ordering first and then reorder the lines according to the order. So I am getting the lines. So is this clear till this one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now how do I separate each of this? I can use split using a comma, right?
You use pop to simply remove in other and store in order.
Pop will remove the last element by
Yes,
default.
sir,
You
and
can
store
also
it
pass
in
in.
variable order.
Yes, this will have that value. The removed value will be there here. This will also, pop will also have the removed value that we can process accordingly. Okay. But remove, when you use remove or when you use remove, it won't have the value. But pop will remove the value and this result, it will return the removed value. So we can process that removed value accordingly. So now the split will uh, split the returned value, which is this line, and split it like this. So here the next line character is there. So now we want to convert everything to integer. So how we can convert it into integer? We can use the comprehension int of n for n in this one. So now I convert every list of string into a list of integers. Right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
And now the indices here, these are the indices, right? The third element, the third line, the first line, fifth line. So now these indices are one based, but our list, the lines list, have indices zero based. How do we change the one based index to zero based index? You subtract one. So now we have the indices of the lines in order. So the line at index 2 should come first, which is this. The line at index 0 should come second, which is this. The line at index 4 should come third, which is this. Okay. So now we just have to follow this order, take the element at that particular index, and print it.
How you
Right?
print, sir, this like so that
Lines
the
lines have the all the lines. I know which
Lines is a
index
list,
to print.
sir. Lines is a list,
Yeah,
and index
yes,
is
lines
the
is the list.
index of that list.
Yes. So I am having the index here. So whatever value here is the index here. So the order has the indices in which I have to print, right? This is the order in which I have to print. So I just have to take the element at the second index and print it first, which is this one. Then I have to take the element at index 0 and print it next. So that's what I am actually doing. You see,
yes, sir, understood. Thank you very much.
Sir, line number 10.
line number 10, this is just an alternate way of doing the same thing. You can use either comprehension or you can use map.
Uh, I confuse in using map. Why it is inside? Sometime I confuse either right map inside or outside. Means
You
list
don't
came
worry
first.
about that. If you are using list comprehension, that is pretty much fine. You need not use map. It is just an alternate way. So what map does is map takes in a function and the iterable, applies the function to each item in that iterable. So let me give you uh, in this case. So this is a function, and this is the list of strings. So it applies the int function to each element in the list and gives you a iterable. It doesn't give you a list, and so you can convert it into a list using the list function. And now, since we have also the subtracting part there, I can use a lambda function because I cannot use subtract within this syntax. I have to use a lambda function, and I use -1 like this. So it is easier using comprehension, so you can follow this. Okay.
Yes, sometimes I stuck in using map.
Yeah. So if you
Uh,
are not very comfortable with this functional programming, you can always go to the comprehensions, which is easier to write. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
comprehensions are written with the square brackets only, or with open brackets
When
also?
you use square bracket, it is list comprehension. When you use curly braces, it can become set comprehensions. And also for dictionary also there is comprehension. You have to use a key value notation here with the curly braces. If you use parenthesis, it becomes generator expression. Generator expression is not tuple comprehension. So there is no tuple comprehension like that. It is generator expression, which you can iterate over. So if I use this one, this becomes generator expression. So you can see it's a generator. I can iterate over this one. It will give me the values.
so why generator no tuple? Line number 9.
There is no tuple comprehension in there. So because tuples are kind of immutable, you cannot add elements to that thing. So this syntax is used for generators, which you can iterate over. You can also convert it into a list if you want, but these are called generator expressions when you use parentheses. So parenthesis, this doesn't compute everything. Only when you iterate over, the values are computed. So that is the difference. But when you use list comprehension, all the values are computed and stored in it. And then you iterate over the list. But here, when you do this, nothing is computed. Only when you ask for the value, each of this value will be computed, and this deals with the memory and the storage. If you want to compute everything beforehand, you use either a list or a tuple, sorry, list or a set comprehension. When you don't want to compute everything beforehand, only compute each value whenever it is needed, you use a generator instance. Okay. Yes.
So how to use dictionary in this list or dictionary
Dictionary
comprehension?
comprehensions will be something like this. Uh, if you want to have uh, something like this, you can have. So this is not matching. Yes. See, now order is a dictionary.
Sir,
You
don't
can
get
have a key.
that dictionary.
So let me give you a simple dictionary. Uh, right? Now I will be the key and this will be the value. I plus 1 is the value. You can also have a I square dictionary. If you don't use the key value pair notation, it will be a set. If you use a key value pair notation, this first value will be the key and this value will be the value.
How to fix the order of a set, sir?
You shouldn't. Sets are meant to be unordered. If you want
No,
order,
sir, I
use
want
list.
to ask, is there any way to fix a set?
No, because they are unordered. Set doesn't have order. If you want order, you use a list or a tuple.
That means we have to control ourselves from using set in exam.
If you don't want order. So if you want order, you shouldn't use set. If you want, so for example, if you want unique values, use set. And then if you want to order those unique values, you have to convert it into a list and then maintain the order.
Sir, don't get what you say about convert it into
So
a
for
list.
example, let me have you one question. So I have a list of values. So now my problem statement is I want to print the ascending order of unique values. So I need to get the unique values. So I
Use
use
set.
set. Now I want to order. So when
List
you can
dot
use
sort.
sorted, list dot sort won't work because this is the list, right? You have to use the sorted function. Which will give you a list. Sorted will always give you a list, right? Because you cannot sort a set. You cannot also use unique dot sorted. You cannot use that. If you want to use that, you have to convert this into a list. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask in line number 11, set will return different values. That's why every time list is different.
Yeah, this list might be different. Yes. Set is not ordered, right? So when you create a list out of a set, you cannot ensure the order. So if you want to ensure the order, you have to manually order it again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Otherwise, you can use sorted. That will give you a sorted list.
Sorted for every iterable and short
Yeah,
for only
sorted
list.
can be, yes. And sorted will give you a new list where sort will update the list. It will modify the list. Dot sort will modify the list, whereas sorter will give you a new list.
Tuple also converted to list using sorted.
Yes, because tuples are immutable. You cannot change the value in place. So you have to create a new list. Okay.
Sir, I don't able to understand how tuple works by using sorted.
How tuple works is just like any
Sir,
other
if
iterable.
yes, that is a tuple, then how it is
Uh,
working?
it will convert into a list in a sorted manner. Sorted will always give you a sorted values as a list. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So now I think we can go back to your question, in which we have to use the first character as the order. You said that, right? So let me show. So now this is our new problem statement where this is the new order in which we have to, which means the first line should be in the second line, the second line should be in the fourth line, third line should be in the first line, fifth line this should be in the fifth line, like that. So using this order, we are going to order it. So now we have to parse it accordingly to get the orders. So first of all, so we can get all the lines. So this is our lines. Maybe so now this is our lines. So here I want to split this. So I want to remove this content. So I say uh, I shouldn't include this slash in also here, or maybe I can have the whole content, but I should use this first value as the order or the value till the dot, because sometimes two-digit numbers also might be there. So I cannot just take the first character. I have to take till the dot. So I am using the first dot as the separator to extract the number or the order. So how I can do that? For I am using a list for order for line in lines, line dots, line dot split of dot. So what this will give me, this one, the number and the remaining line it will give. But I need only the number. So I'll take the first element and I'll convert it into integer.
Sir, when you use dot split, it is also showing backslash n. Why?
Yeah, because the string contains black Celestian, right? See
Uh,
this?
what we, yeah, sir, that is.
This
It,
dot, this dot,
oh,
this dot is being used, splitted.
thank you, sir.
Now we don't need that thing. We just need the first value and we have to convert it into integer. And now with this integer, we can add it to the order, right? And also we need the zero based index. So I can use -1 to get the zero based index. So now the problem statement is quite different from that. So here the order, if you see,
What is
what does this
-1,
order
sir? What is -1?
uh, converting the indices, one base indices, right? Same as the
Yes, sir.
previous problem. Here the indices are one based. I'm converting it to zero based. Okay. So now the problem statement is that so here the line contains this. So this should be the second line. This order does not maintain. This order does not say uh, which is the first line. It says which line is this. So there is a difference, right? This order in the previous problem said that which is the first line, which is the second line. But here the order says which line is should be this. Okay, so there is a difference in that. So how do we uh, ensure that? So one way to do that is you can use a new set of list with that and rearrange it. For example, the result. And since we have 5 lines, I can use I'm just using some blank list with len of lines, right? So I am just creating a result list for my new thing. And now I use for,
Sorry, sir. Line number
so
14.
wait. Line number 14 just creates a list with nuns. So here I think we shouldn't call this order. We should call this uh, position or something like this. I am calling it positions. So basically this gives this says which line this particular line should be. So this line should be in this second line, which is the index 1. This line should be in the index 1. Okay. The first line should be in the index 1. The second line should be in the index 3. This fourth line, which is fourth index, right? Like that. So I creating a placeholder values. So this you didn't do you understand what this does? I'm just creating a list with 5 nuns or the
Yes,
number
sir.
of lines.
Why you
Right?
don't use empty list here?
I'll come to that part. So I have the positions, right? So I can use position in positions. So I have to insert the first line in this position. So I also iterate lines over this. So I combine these two things, position and lines. So I'll get that. And I insert this line into that position in the result. Result of position equal to line. Uh, this is fine, right? Lines. Okay. Lines. Positions. Spelling mistake. Positions. Call this positions. Yes. So now you see the order came. So what I did was, let me show this. Now the first line and the position. So I have a positions list, I have the lines list. So now I take the first position and the line. So this should be the line in the first index. So in the result, I put it in the first index like this. So now I take the next line and the next position. This line should be in the third index. I am putting it in the third index. So similarly, I put all the other things. After that, I have the reordered list. And now I have to just print this. So for
Sir, can you explain this part again? This how
Yes,
it is
sir.
created.
After line number 14, sir.
Sir,
yes,
from
Okay.
line number 14.
yes, I'll okay. So from line number 14. So like, did you understand line number 14? What we are, I am putting empty things for the result. So I have 5
Yeah,
elements which I
understand.
have
But
to divide.
doubt is that why you don't use empty list here?
So, sir, because empty list is not used because we
This
cannot
one.
index
Yeah.
the
With the empty list, you cannot index this, right? You need to have some position before so that I can update the value, right? If you want to do this, you cannot do it in an empty list, right?
Sir, none, don't create any problem, none type of such thing.
No, it won't create any. You can basically have anything here. I just use none for a placeholder. Anything because we are going to update it anyway,
Okay, sir.
right? Just placeholder to create that output. That is just a placeholder. I'm using none because uh, it's kind of feel like it is nothing, but there is none. We need that index so that we can update it, update that position, right?
Line number 16, sir.
Yes,
What?
line number 16, what it does, so we have a list of lines and we also have the list of positions. I want to iterate it parallelly. So I want to take this one and this one and put this line in that index. I want to take this one and put it in that index. So I need both things, right? So I use SIP. So I use SIP to get a line and the position together parallelly. This one and this one, this one and this one, like that.
Sir, not
Right?
able to understand how GP is working here. Position is
Okay.
one and line in this one match. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. So it works like very similar to enumerate. So if you have enumerate and items, so you saw that, right? Works very similar to that. So for example, if I have something like this, A equal to list of range of 10 or 5, and B is equal to apple, say apple only. And now if I use, you have, uh, let's see, yeah, you have something like this. The corresponding values will be there. Okay, it zips together. So let me print this. Let me see. See this? So if I have another value here instead of that, it takes the first value and the first value b comma a, second value and the second value a comma p, third value and the third value n comma p, and so on till the shortest one. So here only 5 letters, here 6 letters. It will stop after the fifth letter. So n and e. This a will be skipped. So similarly, we have a positions and the lines. I want to take both together, position and line, like that.
First of position and first of line.
Yes, and so on repeatedly. So I
Sir,
use zip.
what it written is first two,
Yes, this one and this one. This one and this one, next to this one and that one,
three and
like that.
four, zero and one, four and
Yes, this
five.
one. Yes. And then this two and this one. You can see this, right? This, just watch the value of line and position. You see this? First take this.
Yes, I understand. It will simply match first to first, second to second, and third to
Yes.
third.
Yes. You see this?
It make a tuple or anything else.
Tuple. It gives tuples. We are splitting it using this unpacking. If you just use something like X here, you will see tuples only.
Where it's a tuple? Yeah.
Tuples. Okay. I am splitting it using unpacking there so I can get individual values.
Sir, not able to see individual values of line number 16.
Not able to see, you can just print them and see.
Yeah. Okay, now I
Okay.
understand.
So now we have the reordered result, and then I have to print the result in the order. Okay.
Line number 18 is simply list position changing.
Yes. I'm
Okay, sir.
updating the value. I am inserting the line in that position.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Sir, what happened in line number 20?
I am just printing that list. This list is there, right? I'm just iterating through that result and printing the lines so that I get the output.
We have to return file maybe, or list is fine.
Usually we print the result. It will be output. You have to print the output. So not no return anything We don't have to return anything. We have to print it, print the result. In file handling question, you have to print the result.
Sir, in some PPAs, instructor use
I am
written.
talking about OPPs. PPAs, you have different type of question. OPP questions, you have to print it.
Okay, sir. Every time
Okay.
print at last.
Yes, depending upon the output format. You have to check the output format and print accordingly. So here the output format is like this. You have to print uh, like this. You have to print it like this. And here the output format is given and you have to print it accordingly. Like
Thank you,
this.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So is there anything that you want me to show? Was
Can
I
you please
clear?
revise tuple concept, sir?
Tuple. Okay. So let me take a tuple. So tuples, what you can do in tuples?
And one,
You,
sir, one thing to I have to ask, sir. If file
yes.
the output is a tuple, then we can use tuple methods. If list, then list method. If string, then string method. Am I right?
Usually in file handling, the data type doesn't matter because you will be printing it within some kind of format, right? So you have to print it accordingly. Whatever
No,
data
sir.
structure you use
We
in,
use dot strip for stripping simply, then split. Then it became listed. Then list method we can use. Similarly, if we
yes.
make tuple, then we can use tuple methods.
Uh, what are the tuple methods do you have?
Generally, max or such things don't much
Slicing and
Tuple
length.
don't have
add,
methods.
delete.
Those are like functions, right? Max, min are functions. It doesn't, you cannot modify a tuple, so you can actually process the tuple, but modifying a tuple, you will always can do. And slicing are the same operations that you do in the list and strings. So tuple, it has only one property. It is immutable. You cannot change or modify it. And you can use it for a key or you can put it in a set. So for example, in a set, you can put numbers, you can put strings, but you cannot put a list in a string, sorry, a set, because it is not hashable and mutable. So, but you can add a tuple inside a set.
Sir,
That is doable.
I'm very much confused in this, like which we cannot put. How to remember this actually?
So there is thing called hashable,
So
right?
what are
You can
hashable?
use
Immutable, sir. I know immutable and mutable.
hashables are
Value
like
not.
values which can be converted into some integer value. So hash is like a function that takes in some object and returns you some number, which is an integer. So certain data structures can be hashed or can be done that. Usually the mutable ones are not hashable. Usually, not always. The basic data types in Python, the list and dictionary are not hashable because they are mutable, right? So other things are hashable. The floats, integers. Set is also not hashable because it is also mutable, right? So you cannot have a set inside a set, an hashable type set. A dictionary is also not hashable. Usually these mutable collections are not hashable.
We can remember
You can
hashable that hashable have a fixed value. And
Yeah,
as
you can.
changing, we can call them as hashable.
Yes. So you can remember it like that also. Hashable things should have a fixed value, right? Because the hash function will always return the same number for the same values.
So we cannot put mutable hashable inside non-hashable. What we cannot put.
Inside a set or a dictionary keys in
No, no.
dictionary in this
So in terms
you
of
cannot put non-hashable value. You cannot put non-hashable values in a set, and non-hashable values cannot be keys of a dictionary. So in a dictionary,
sir, how to remember
you can,
this all this by, like, what is the container and what is the object we can put it inside that container has to be
as
hashable.
I said, because so first you have to understand the idea in which sets and dictionary works. Both sets and dictionary, that is, the values in the set and the keys in dictionary, uses something called as a hash table, which makes, as I said, you have to remember this. The values in a set should be unique, right? Similarly, the keys in a dictionary should be unique. This is because both of these keys in a dictionary and the values in a set internally uses something called as a hash table, right? Which makes use of this hash function. Okay. So if an object is not hashable, it cannot be put into a set because set uses hashing, and similarly, it cannot be put into a piece of a dictionary because it uses hashing. So you can remember it like that because this is unique. Being dictionary keys should be unique is a consequence of it using hash. Similarly, values of set being unique is also a consequence of it internally using hash. So only hashable values can be there in a set and a dictionary keys. Henceforth, they are unique. Okay.
Sir,
What are
sir means where there is a unique, then we use hashable.
uniqueness is a consequence of hashing. It's not like hashing is the consequence of uniqueness. Okay. Uniqueness
Yes,
is
sir.
the result. Okay. Because of hashing, it should be unique. Okay.
Why we cannot say in another way?
Uh, because hashing, it uses something like it uses hash, right? So as I said, if you want me to explain how hashing works, I can give you an example. But the idea of hashing is like, uh, so the set internally uses a hash table. So okay, I'll give a very simple example of it. It internally uses hash table. It uses this function. So for a particular value, you get a hash value, right? So it internally uses a hash table, which is a list, something like this. Hash table is a list of nonce you can call. So if my hash table is of size 20, and I want to put this value, let's say a value is equal to this, and I want to put this value, I will put this value in this hash table only at the position, which is computed by the hash, which is, if I want to insert this value, I will do hash table of value, hash of value mod 20 because the size equal to value. So now this result give me this position. So if I change this value, it give me this index. So if I want to put the same value again into this table, I will put it in the same location. So that's why there cannot be duplicates. I won't put any other LFGDK in some other index. I always put this at this particular index, which is computed by the hash function. Okay, so that's why I cannot have duplicate values because If it is LDFJK, I will always put it in index 3. I cannot put that in another index. That's why uniqueness is a consequence, because we put always it in the particular index. A value can be only present in that particular index. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask if it is a unique position fixed attached to it, then it is also hashable. Why we cannot say that? I understand this, but my doubt is that.
No, you can have a uniqueness as a result of different things. So, for example, you can also have a list, a simple list, right? Simple list. So, before adding, you can check whether that element is already present and prefer not to add it. That can also give you uniqueness, but that doesn't mean hashing is exist, right? If
Thank you, sir.
uniqueness exists, that doesn't mean hashing exists, but hashing exists, uniqueness exists because of the hashing. Okay. Yes.
Sir, can you please explain tuple that it functions? I forget what to use. Simply
Okay.
names
So
are fine.
basically, tuples basically aggregation functions you can use in any collections. The sum, max, min, sorted. These functions you can use in anything, and also you can use any, all. These are the aggregation functions which you can use in any collections. Set, list, tuple, uh, everything. Okay. So this will work on basically integers. Some will work on integers. Max and min will work on this integers, and also in the strings it can compare. So in that case, comparison will be based on lexicographical ordering or the ASCII values, because based on the ASCII values, the strings will be uh, processed, sorted also. All and any use makes use of the truthiness or the falsiness of the values. Okay. If everything is the truthy value, you will get true for all. If any one of them is a truthy value, you will get true for any.
Sir, I hear
Right?
any and all first time.
So you haven't heard it. So it is like any. So if any one of them is true, it will be true. So since one true is there, it will be true. If there are no truths, it will be false. It doesn't also mean only Boolean values are allowed. Other values can be also there. Since 2 is a truthy value, you will get true because at least one truthy value is there. Now there are no truthy values, so you will get false.
What is the use of it? Where we can use
To check,
any?
so this is so for example, I want to check whether there is any even number here. Okay, I want to check whether any even number is there in A. Okay, for
Any two?
example, no, I need to check whether there is any even number in this list, in this tuple. Any even number means there is at least one even number in this list, in this tuple. Okay, I want to check that. So you can use, how do you check for even? X mod 2 equal to 0 for x in A. So now this will give me true because there is one even number. So if I make this to odd, there is no even number. So what this will give you, the internal part, this one will give you a list of true or false. Right? And you can check if there is any true there. So if any of the number is even, you will get a true, one of them will be turned true, and this any of checks will give you there is at least one true. So you can use it like this.
Sir, why we
And
have
if
to
you want to
make
check whether,
checks?
You don't have to make checks if you don't want to. I just made it into a separate list so that you can visualize. This will give you the result. I can check if there is any even number. And if we want to check if anything, if all the things are odd, I have to use all. Then I will know if there is all the numbers are odd. Sorry, not equal to 1, not equal to 0. So now all the numbers are odd. So this is for checking whether a number is odd. This is to check whether all the numbers are odd. So if there is any even number, this will become false. That's how any and all works. It works with truthy and falsy values. You can use it like this. So it can be also used in one more example. Let me give you another example. You can have a list of strings. Is there any vowel present in the string? Is the question. So you can use any.
Carry in AIOU.
That's it. So this will give me true because one vowel is there. I now there is no. Okay.
Initially, it's so true, then false. Why?
I put I. I is a
Oh,
vowel. When you add I, it gets to true. When you don't have that, there is no vowel. So false.
yes, sir. I understand now.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's fine for now. Today. Thank you, everyone.
Sir, as you have provided for OP1 syllabus, can you provide for OP2 also?
Yeah, as I said, OPPE2 also has a similar pattern as OPP1 except for the last problem. So all the first 6 questions, section 1, section 2, section 3, question 1, till that it is same as OPP1. The last question will be a file handling question where you will be asked to read a file and process the uh, file and give the. Yeah, Shelly.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
these function any and all, these all are applicable to tuple only.
No, no, you can use it to any collections. Just like eh, is like just like sum, min, and max, you can use it
Any
to
rebel,
eh,
any
any
rebel
collections.
required.
Yeah,
Dictionary.
yeah,
Okay, sir.
yes,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, kindly remember that that I talked to you na, about the 4 mock of that
Okay, okay.
May 2024.
Yeah, yeah. I'll check that.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
Okay,
Sir, the
thank
recording
you.
of this is not available in YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. It is streamed in YouTube. You can check in the YouTube channel.
What about dictionary? That in any and all.
Usually, when you iterate a dictionary, usually the keys will be iterated. If you can specify the things. Let me give you the live stream URL also. If you can check here. Okay.
Sir, that YouTube channel is official.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye, sir.